I'm gonna cut the first like minute or so. Oh. Alright.
Brings up Marvel's just plays it.
Alright, I guess we'll just start, right?
Damn straight. Cool little character. You said it's on Discord?
Yeah. Alright, we'll wait for that then. Yeah. What is your Discord doing?
Was that necessary?
That's because you shook it.
Why is it just like the most inconvenient space ever? Right. That's never happened though. That's weird. Stop the damn video. I might actually just task manager that.
I'm not even joking. From coming here with my laptop at 100%, it's at 57.
We may not get to it.
It's fine. I know the code. I know. Like, I could do this without the example, but I need to show you the example as part of the thing.
Yeah, Discord is just hard not working. I'm wondering if my internet is having the same issue as last night.
Hey.
Oh, we got it. Never mind. Close Pornhub. all of the
I've never seen so much at once before.
I can't stand no more. Right.
Yeah, so you go to my chat and
this is awkward. I swear.
I swear my computer's normally good.
Dude, we have people over. It's got some.
You're embarrassing me.
Just some performance anxiety, you know. Usually has a bit of whiskey before this.
How long have you had your computer open? Like, do you turn it off?
Yeah, I turned it off. I turned it off every night.
Yeah, but there's off and then there's 7 minutes. It's just struggling.
I'm wondering if it's actually just the internet. So if I just go like, it just comes up.
Yeah, but that's cache.
Yeah, it is. TripAdvisor, like yesterday, I just like Googled TripAdvisor and it just did not work.
Alright, it's come up now. Just download on everything. They're 3 meg. There's no way that says 5 minutes for a 6 meg file.
What the fuck? What the actual fuck? What did they do to my internet?
Because I'm connected?
No. I literally called them and was like, let me just work some stuff in the background. Okay, it's fixed now. I don't know what they did though. I don't know what happened to it in the first place.
I'm just gonna copy it off my laptop.
It's just like
question mark time remaining.
Oh fuck!
It's a debate between whether this will finish first or the world will end first. Oh my god! I'm gonna leave all this in.
What the fuck?
That's your download speed. I disagree. Alright, my downloads. Drag those.
How often is your upload better than your download? I'm ashamed.
Come on, computer, you're embarrassing me in front of the teacher.
I'm literally gonna call the. I'm gonna call. I promise. As soon as you leave. What's your download speed? You're gonna fucking believe this.
20 kilobytes per second. Yeah, just grab those 4. Just copy them to like your downloads folder or desktop or something like that, somewhere we can grab them.
Cut.
You can cut if you want.
It'll just confuse us. Good lord.
You can't because it's actively happening. Just put it on your desktop, man.
I'm literally just like,
I'm actually not sure you can paste things into your downloads folder. Okay.
no, it's stupid. So, which folder are we dragging this into?
We'll do that as part of the tutorial.
Fucking goodbye. Okay, got it.
Hold on, I just want to check something.
Guess I'm playing single player tonight.
What do you play? Solitaire.
It's struggling. It's really struggling.
Cool.
Is there other movement? Like left and right? No.
Yeah. It's not turn.
Oh, I was gonna say. I'm like, it doesn't look like this.
I'm teaching you to use the animation controller, not how to make a whole character. You'll be able to do that after learning this.
I can finally make my get swinging game.
You do it yourself.
Fine. It's gonna look like shit, but I made it. Alright, ready?
Alright, yeah, so, first of all, hazards. There's not a whole lot of hazards here because we're in like an office space. There's a couple like exposed wires, other side of you as well. There's some wires there. Just be careful not to trip on them, that sort of thing. Be careful with any liquids around computers, of course. And yeah, you understand all that. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, cool. All right, today I'm going to teach you how to create and implement an animation controller. It's going to be a fairly basic animation controller, but you've got the idle animation, you've got a walk animation, holding shift will turn into a run animation, and then hitting space will do a thumbs up.
Nice.
So I'm going to teach you how to import the models, how to set up the models for an animation, to use the animation, sorry, how to set up the animation controller with all the links between them, which I just realized I do need my mouse actually, so I'll grab that. Because I can't move this around, you have to middle click and then drag, and I can't middle click on a trackpad. And I'm also going to teach you the code, which is pretty straightforward. So, first off, you've got Unity open already, which is good. So drag your models in while I grab my mouse. I'll just have to like use it on my knee, that's fine.
Got them.
Cool, they should, load properly. Alright, first thing you want to do is click into each of the models individually. Just one click, sorry. Plug that in. Yep, just so it's on the right. You want to hit rig and change where it says avatar definition. Change that to create from this model. Yep. And hit apply.
Okay.
Yep, so that's our first one. We only have to do that on the first one. All the others will automatically work because it's the same model, but they're different animations.
Okay.
So now for the animator, click animation. Oh, I gave you the wrong file.
Oh.
I did. That's fine. Ignore that one. Click on idle. Yep. Go to rig. No avatar to create. Yep. Apply. Alright, now go animation. And we actually have animation. That's exciting. This is for the idle one, so we bring it up on my end as well. Yeah, so we want this to loop because it's an idle animation, so you just tick the loop time button here. Yep, and you scroll down and hit apply.
Where's the plug?
Yeah.
Oh, just literally there.
Yeah. And that's it really, that's that one set up.
Okay.
To go to the run.
Same thing with these.
No, we don't do the rig for these. You only need to do the rig for one, and the only reason we did it for the second one is because I gave you the wrong thing, which is
Gotcha.
interesting.
That's right. Yep, so that's all good. Apply for this one as well, loop time.
Yep. And hit apply, and do the same with the walk. Yep, perfect. Alright, let me grab the other one, because the thumbs up has an extra component to it. So let me quickly grab that straight from my my Unity scene. So we'll kill that, because we don't need that. It might already be set up, which is why I didn't originally grab it from here. But I'll walk you through how to set it up anyway.
Sure.
That's fine. Close that. Cool. Sorry about that. Ugh. And just drag it in. So you're looking for thumbs up.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Drag that into here. Perfect. Click into it, and
that's
yeah.
it.
So we don't loop this one because we don't want to sit there going like that. We just do the one. But if you scroll down and see events.
Yep.
Yep. So drop that down. Create an event. Just that little thing you're on. Yep. Add event, and we'll come back to this and actually like set up what it does because we don't have the object to apply to it yet. But it's that white line there. Just drag that across a little bit, not to the end, just to like halfway. So that's this one. Yeah. Perfect. And hit apply. So basically, what that first line there, if you click here, that's actually the progress through the animation.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So basically, what we'll do when we set up the animation controller, the thumbs up will toggle when you hit space, and then it'll stop whatever animation it's doing and do a thumbs up. When it hits halfway through, it'll turn the thumbs up variable off, so that when it hits the end of the animation, it transitions back to whatever it is that we were in.
Gotcha.
Like run or walk or idle. So if we can do the animation controller, so actually this bit next. So right click in your project, just anywhere down here, sorry. Go up to create at the top, and then animation controller, yeah. And name that player anim. Yep. And hit enter again. And it just opens it up. So drop down the, not drop down, expand the models, but not not that one. So, yep, keep going. And one more. Perfect. So, see how it's got the take 001?
Mm-hmm.
So drag that in. Yep, and then click on it. And at the top up here, rename it to idle, because that's our idle animation. You generally want the idle to be the first one that you put in, because the entry is when you hit play or when that object spawns, it goes from entry to whatever animation it's pointing to.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not pointing to something like an idle, you would generally point it to like spawn. Like if there's an animation for them being summoned, that's what you would do first, and then they'd go to idle and blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But for our purposes, idle is the best.
Gotcha.
To drag in the next one, which is our run. Yep, just drag it in and rename it. And then do the thumbs up is the next one. It doesn't matter what order we put them in, that's just the next one in line.
Which one was this called?
That's the walk. Perfect. So, on the top left, you've got layers and parameters. So looking here, click parameters.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're going to add 3 parameters. So just hit the little plus and bool. So a bool is just true or false.
Okay.
Or like a tick box. Yeah.
Yep.
So rename. Can you rename in progress? I assume so. Yeah. So name the first one sprint. Name the second one moving. And the third one thumb.
Got it.
Yep. Perfect. All right. So we'll leave that for now. We'll set up the transitions and stuff later. Let's do the code.
Sure.
So drop those away and create a script, which.
Where is it?
So close your. You've got the models open at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Just like close them up, just so we can get to empty space. So just right click in there, create at the top, and then C# script, and name that player movement. And no spaces. Yeah, it can't have spaces.
Oh.
No, you actually need to like delete and rename it and remake it.
Oh, really? You can't rename it?
If you can, it breaks other things and it's just annoying to fix. Yeah, sorry, I should have said that before.
What did you do? That's all good. So it was player controller.
Player movement. Yeah, no spaces. Yep, just hit enter.
Got it.
And hit enter again to open it or double click it. And I'll swap over to my script. It's white. Horrible. Alright, so we're only adding 2 variables.
Yep.
Oh, you need to sign into Visual Studios. That's annoying. Actually, you shouldn't. It's just, do you have a Microsoft account?
I hope so.
You should. It's free.
Yeah.
So we should have checked you were already logged in. I'm pretty sure your screen won't be on the video, but if it is, I'll blur it.
It's all good. The trick is, which of my passwords is it? Uh-oh.
That one. Sorry, we can cut this part out. I won't.
Make it look
we
like
physically
I got it on
could.
the first go.
I could cut this out, but I'm not going to.
The first go. God.
I might actually copy it and add like 4 or 5 more.
A spoiler reel.
I just hit close, and then you should be able to use Visual Studios just fine.
Got it. All
Cool.
Right,
so we need 2 variables, so they go outside of. They're in this part here. You've got, actually, if I unplug that, then I can just plug my mouse into your computer and just take over to show you things.
that is actually true.
Alright, so I can actually show you on your screen. So variables always go up the top. Inside this bracket, this is like your class, so this is the whole script, right? The variables always go here, so that basically so they're always in the same place. Everyone writes it that way. You can physically put it like anywhere, as long as it's not inside a function, but you put them at the top. It's just.
And when you say
right.
variable.
Yeah, so that's these here. Actually, let me zoom in. Make it a bit easier to read. So first we need our speed, which is things like speed you always want to be a float because it uses things like, it always gets used with movement and with time and that sort of thing. So it needs decimal places. So type public float speed.
With space?
Yep.
Speed.
Space speed.
Yep.
Yep, so the public just means that we can access it in the hierarchy when we are using, like when it's actually attached to something, we can access it here. And then the float is what type of thing it is, and then that's just the name at the end. Hit to the semicolon, so it's just next to L, and hit enter. And then we need access to our animator as well. So it's just public animator, and then I named it anim. Yeah, that's fine. It has to be capital A for animator.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep, cool. Those are the only variables that we need.
Okay, got it.
So we'll set up movement first. We'll ignore the thumb stuff to start with, and then we'll add that later.
Okay.
So jump into update. Update is called every frame.
Here.
Yep.
Yep.
And just that line there, just the movement, and then open close brackets. Oh, right. It's helping you. So let's go down outside of thingy for a second.
Okay.
We'll just hit enter a couple times and go public void movement. So we're creating a new function. Void just means that it doesn't return anything, and generally you want a capital for your functions. It'll work without it, but it gets confusing when you've got like 6 things that are all about movement.
True. Yeah.
And then, so close bracket, and then hit enter, and you want an open and close curly bracket, which are next to P. Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. So that's where all our movement stuff is going to go, but now we should be able to put movement in here. So just hit enter. That's fine. That's fine. It was just so that you go to the next line and delete it. So just make that the same name. So remove the R and the M and make the M capital.
Yep.
Yep, and now it links up, and you need a semicolon at the end of that line. So anything that isn't at the end of the line.
That's just space it. Right here?
Yeah. So you need a semicolon at the end of all things that aren't a declaration, like an if statement or a for loop or a new function doesn't have it, but like regular lines of code, they all have it. Like all here, here. That one does as well, but it's off screen. But stuff like the if statement don't, because they have the brackets after them.
Okay, got it.
So we'll do our movement.
Sure.
It's
so right there in the
here.
brackets.
Enter. Oh, it didn't format it. Why does it format how I want? That's how I want it to be. Alright, so we're going to set up a vector 3. That vector 3 is always used for 3D space. Capital V.
Yep.
No space, vector 3. And we'll name this aim move direction. Just move and then capital D-I-R. Yep. And have that with the equals. A new vector 3. So just literally type new.
Space it as well?
Yep.
Do you want the space after the move direct?
It's fine without it, but aesthetically, yes.
It's not going to break anything.
No. Missing stuff like spaces generally is fine, but for other people reading your code, you don't want it all to just be a solid line.
True. Yeah.
So this is our input stuff that is handled through Unity. So input.getAxis. Yep, and then open bracket, and inside you want the like quotation marks, and then horizontal capital H. So this is a pre-built axis, so it will automatically translate between, because it's horizontal, so A and D.
Yep.
And if you just plug in a controller, that will just work. You don't have to change anything for the controller.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's for the x-axis.
Yep.
Yeah, a graph, the x-axis. We don't want to change our y-axis at all because we don't want to float. So that's set to 0. So we're never changing that. So hit comma. Yep, and then 0.0f. F just means that it's a float, and generally you don't have to put the decimal in there. If it's 0, you can just do 0f.
Sure. What does it mean by float?
Float is a number that has decimal places up to, I believe, 16 decimal places.
Okay.
And then a double just has twice as many decimal places, but it also has twice as many on the other side as well. Stuff like games like Cookie Clicker,
Yeah.
where you're dealing with numbers that are bigger than things that an integer can handle, you need a double.
Okay.
And then you can go like double as well, and it's just assigning more memory to that number basically.
Yeah.
So hit comma again. So that's our y-axis done. We need our z-axis because we're in 3D, which is input.getAxis, and we're using the vertical axis this time, which is your S and W. Alright, so we've got to fix a couple of things. That's fine. You've got the quotation mark, you've doubled the quotation marks, and then, yeah. So Visual Studios, basically what happened there is Visual Studios is very helpful. So when you, when you type quotation marks,
yep.
Unity will automatically close it as well. So you just have to hit it once and then type. But if you don't know that, then it's annoying because if you hit it twice, all it does is move your cursor outside of the bracket.
Gotcha. So it's a bit overly polite.
Yeah. It's helpful when you know it's doing it. If you don't know it's doing it, it's not helpful.
I'll learn its ways, that's all.
Alright, so that's our movement variables pretty much set up.
Okay.
What we need to do now is basically check if we're moving. So we do that here with just a jump out of the thing and just go to a new line.
Okay.
So we're doing an if statement.
Right. Okay.
So I'll highlight like what we're up to, so it's easier for you not trying to find it with your eyes.
So the green is just basically you describing it.
Yeah, it's just a comment. So it's not actual code, it's just describing it. So ignore that. So go if, and then we're checking the move direction. Yep. And then exclamation mark equals just means not equal.
Yep.
To vector3.0, which is essentially a vector3 that's 0, 0, 0.
Got it.
Yep. So that doesn't have the semicolon because it's an if statement.
Yep.
But we want the brackets after it. Well, on the next line. Yep, and now we're accessing our animator for the first time. So
am I pressing enter again and then like that? Yeah,
it'll do that stuff. So not capital, just it fixed it, but you did have a capital there. Yeah. So set bool. Oh,
am I just
you hit alt.
Naturally.
So open bracket, and we're accessing the bool that we set earlier, moving, which I believe you did without a capital. It is case sensitive. So I'll show you. You did that here. We're accessing this variable.
Okay, got it. So it needs to match.
So
if I just go in and rename it, it'll be fine.
You can rename it or you can change it in code. Doesn't make a difference. As long as they're the same, it doesn't care. You can literally just call it like that, and it'll recognize it as long as it's the same. Yep, and we're setting it to true. So basically, if our movement vector is not 0, then we must be moving. So close that off with a yep, perfect. So outside of the bracket,
yep.
We want to do else. So basically, I keep grabbing your mouse even though I attached mine to it. Basically, it's like grade.
Yeah.
So that's everything inside the if statement, but we want to go down and just type else.
Capital?
No. And then hit enter. Thank you, Unity. Visual Studios. So this basically just means if this is correct, then do this, else do this.
Okay, got it.
So we just set the same ball to false.
Okay. Oh. So could we just...
Oh yeah, yeah. Control C and Control V are the most used keys in code.
It's all about just putting it in the right place.
Exactly. Lowercase for false. True and false are always lowercase.
Gotcha. Okay, got it.
And then at the end of that, we want to type return.
Yep.
And basically return, if your code ever hits return, it'll jump out of this. So everything after this will get skipped.
Okay.
Which is where we're going to set up whether you're sprinting or not.
Okay.
Stop helping. It's also where we're going to actually be moving.
Okay, got it.
But we're focusing primarily on the animation, on the animated controller and switching between animations. So the movement, the actual physical movement is pretty basic. There's no turning or anything. It's just strafing. So we're going to do sprinting now.
Okay.
Which is, I always grab my mouse, this bit. So next line down.
Should that bracket be here?
Yep.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that bracket's for the else.
Okay.
Alright, so now we want to check if the left shift key is being pressed.
Right.
So if input.getKey and then bracket
I did that thing again.
key code dot left shift. Capital S. Yeah, close that bracket and hit enter and do the curly brackets. I'm sure they have a proper name. It might actually be a curly bracket. And you hit input.
Love it. Yep.
Alright, so in here we're just going to change our speed variable so that you're physically moving faster when you're sprinting.
Got it.
And we're going to set our sprinting ball to true.
Okay, got it. So where is that?
Just here.
If I just do enter.
When zeroing, you have to have the F because it's a float and it just gets mad if you don't. I'm sure it knows what you mean, but it just straight up gets mad. Yep, accessing a sprint variable.
Good.
Set to true because we are sprinting. So there's, with the get key, there's also two others called get key down and get key up.
Right.
Get key down will only register when it is pressed and only one time. Get key up is when you release it, but get key is as long as you're holding it.
Okay.
You could set it up with a key down to toggle, and then games somehow have sometimes have like a toggle sprint. That's how they set it up.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so we now need an else. So if we're not holding shift, then we're walking.
Yep.
So now we set it up with the speed of 5 and sprint is false.
Okay, gotcha. So bracket is closed. So
Yep.
Just like that.
Yep.
That should be in the next line, shouldn't it?
Yeah. So I'll just make it 5 so that there's a visual speed discrepancy. Yep, and we set our ball. It's habit, I know. I do it as well, don't worry.
Yep, figured it out.
I knew you would. I didn't say it, I knew you'd work it out. You need the comma on the other side. No, semicolon goes there. The comma you've got inside the quotation marks, you need on the outside.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, that's done.
Okay, nice.
So now we can tell whether we're sprinting or not,
Mm-hmm.
and then we just need to physically move, and then the movement function is done.
Oh, nice. Okay, so
outside the brackets, no, inside that one, yeah, there.
Okay.
So hit enter, stops on a new line.
oh my gosh. Yep.
Cool. And transform.position is the position of whatever object this script is on.
Yep.
And then we're going plus equals, which means add it to and update my variable. So we're not just adding the variables together to assign it to a third variable, we're actually changing position.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So it's our movement direction. Yep, multiplied by our speed. Multiplied by time.delta time. Capital T for time. Cool, and that's done.
Alright, sweet. Okay.
We'll set up the thumb part later, but we can check our movement stuff soon. So let's jump back into Unity. Hold on, save. So Control S. Yeah. Green lines on the left side means that everything's saved. If it's yellow, it's not saved yet.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll take this. I'll put it back in so I can show you Unity. Alright, go back to Unity.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to set up this. And as you can see, it's got lots of lines and there's only 4. So if you've got 20 animations, this gets pretty complex pretty quick. We're going to ignore thumbs up for now. We're just going to deal with these ones.
Yep.
So start at our idle, you right click on it and make transition and go to run. And do the same with walk. Yep. And basically you need to have a transition back as well from both. And they need to be able to transition between each other. We'll ignore thumbs up for now because it gets set up a little bit differently.
Okay.
Okay. Now we need to click on each one of those arrows individually. It's painful.
Okay, we got it.
First off,
Yeah.
we turn off exit time. Exit time basically waits for the end of the animation before going to the next one.
Got it.
Whereas we want to interrupt an animation.
Yep.
This is going from idle to walk. So add a condition. Actually add 2 conditions, which is just a little plus here. Yep, and change. Oh yeah, sorry, I did forget that. Do the same for sprint. Do the same for thumb as well, just so it all matches. There's consistency.
Alright.
Right. So we're going from idle to walk. So if sprint is false, so change that is false and change the second sprint to moving is true. So if we're moving and not sprinting, then we're walking, right? So as long as those parameters are what happens, it'll go from idle to walk.
Okay, got it.
And then do the transition back from walk to idle, which is just moving is false. Yeah, delete the second one. We don't need to check the second one. It's fine. Delete the wrong one, but just set that one up again. So moving is false. Yes. So if we're not moving, we're idling. Basically, it's pretty straightforward. Do the same for sprint.
Got yes.
And
wait, do we have sprint? We've got
you named it run, but yes, that's your sprint.
Got it. Does right click this one to sprint or?
No. So
it's right here.
The transitions, yeah, you can rename it sprint if you want.
Got it. Yeah.
So transitioning to it.
So sprint.
If we are sprinting and we are moving, then go to sprint.
Right.
So change one of those to moving, and remember to turn off has exit time at the top.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think we forgot to do that for the transition from walk back to idle. So double check it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Got it. So back here, we're moving and we're sprinting. So we're
Yep.
going from
So we're
idle to
sprinting.
sprint.
Yep.
Yep.
Do the transition from sprint back to idle. Yep.
So we are no longer sprinting.
Yep.
And then this one. So sprint to walk.
Yeah, from sprint to walk is sprint true and movement true. Sprint false and movement true. Yep, go back to the sprint to idle. So you actually don't want to turn that off, you want to check movement as well. So if movement is false and sprint is true, then we're going from sprint to idle.
You mean sprinting? Wait, I misunderstood that.
So basically, I'll show you.
Sure.
Basically what it means is we're sprinting at the moment. If I stop moving, but I'm still holding the sprint button, it'll transition back.
Oh, okay. Yep. Got it.
Yeah. And if you let go of both, it'll transition back as well.
Got it. Okay. Right. So walk over to sprint. So that and movement true. Right?
Yep.
Sweet. We'll reset that.
Yep. Yeah, just click through them so I can. Yeah, looks pretty straightforward.
Okay, got it.
Cool. There is an error in our code.
Yep.
So go back to your code. It's just a mistype where you've got transform.
Where's that?
Down the bottom.
Yep.
You've just hit the N and S around the wrong way. Just a typo.
Can I say something? I do that every time.
Yeah, that's it. Hit save.
Yep.
And the way I knew that was there was an error in Unity down the bottom. That's red.
Oh, okay.
And now it's gone.
Got it.
Because it's fixed. Alright, so let's grab our character.
Gotcha.
And we need something for him to walk on. So click into scene. Yep. So right click in your hierarchy. That's the bar on the left. Yep. Create 3D game object and plane. Yeah. And just you can name it whatever. It doesn't matter.
That was an accident.
Yeah, and just
Yep.
make it big. Cool. That's it for that. That's all we need.
Yep.
So now grab the idol and drag him in.
Let's go to the man.
Yeah.
There he is.
Cool. So he's already got an animator. That's because we made a avatar for him earlier. We grabbed it from the rig.
Yep.
So it knows there's animations basically. So drag our player anim into the controller here.
This one.
Yep. Just drag it in.
Into just
That
here.
up here.
Oh, got it.
You were like 1 pixel away. And that should work. Drag the script in as well. Just into, yep. Cool. And then grab the animator and drag it to this animator. Yeah, no, you did it right. Yeah. It just had that symbol because you couldn't place it where the mouse was.
Okay.
And you can hit play and it'll work, but before we do that, just grab the game tab because it's easier to see and just like drag it over to the side like that.
True. Okay.
Yep. So down a bit and yep, it'll snap for you. Grab the camera and you just need to position it in, you know, a nice-ish position.
That's actually, it's already facing the character, thankfully.
Yeah.
Just a bit closer.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Cool. And now in the hierarchy, drag it into the player. So now it's attached to him and it'll follow him.
Easy.
If you hit play now, it'll work.
Okay. Let's see how we go.
Watch it not work. Okay, we're good. And if you hold shift, it'll go to the right animation as well.
I'm running out of space.
Back it up. You can sprint backwards because we haven't said anything against that.
See if I can stop it just before I fall off the edge.
Yeah, there's no gravity. The plane's there for visual effects only. The plane's basically there so that we can tell we're moving and not just running in place.
Got it. Okay, we got movement.
Yeah.
Sweet. Alright, we're there. Basically 50% of the game done.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it.
So we'll add the thumbs up because that gets set up a little bit differently and it's got another component that I want to show you.
Okay. Sure.
So untick play because if you edit anything while in play mode, it won't count and it'll all get deleted when you unplay. I've lost many an hour. It hurts.
I feel like people will know that beforehand, but they really remember it after they've learned it.
Once you've done it like 4 times, you never forget. Alright, so we're going to grab our thumbs up, the actual model, just click on it.
That was it, yeah? So just straight drag it in?
No, not dragging it in,
Ooh.
just clicking on it. We're going to edit the animation. Remember how we set up the event?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
In events.
Yep, there we go.
Yep, so click on the little white dash that we put. Yep, it doesn't matter where it is. So we're going to see where it says new event.
Yep.
Grab that, rename it to thumb down, capital T, capital D. No space. Yep, that's it.
Yep.
And then we want to drag the player movement. So grab the player movement script and put it on the object. So, yep, and then hit apply. Now, when we get to that point in the animation, it's going to go into the script and call that function. So we need to set up that function because it doesn't exist at the moment.
Yep, got it. So back to the script.
Yep.
Yep, here we are.
So this goes, it's a new function, so it goes outside of movement. So yep, hit enter there. And we're just going to call public void thumb down. Yeah, we need the brackets to tell the thing that it's a function.
Yep.
And then curly brackets.
I have it. There we go.
Yep.
Got it.
And we're just going to set the thumb ball to false. Alright, so the semicolon goes before the curly bracket. Yep. And set ball has a capital S. Yep. That's done.
Sweet.
Alright, we now need to set up to actually do the thumbs up. And this will also cancel our movement while we're in the animation. So we can't move and be doing a thumbs up.
Yeah, I was going to say, so whatever button set to thumb, as soon as it comes, actually, as soon as it's, so thumb down, wouldn't that be when you press the button down?
No, so I named it that because it's a thumbs up and we're putting the thumb down.
Oh, okay.
Like we're putting it away.
Yeah.
So jump back up to update, where we have the initial, back in the script still.
Okay, yeah.
Top there. Yep.
Yep.
So before movement,
Yep. So
we want to check if space is hit. So this is where we use the get key down because we only want to do it when you press it, not while, like you don't have to hold it basically.
Gotcha. Are we going to be creating other brackets or just like this?
Just hit enter and go from there. Yeah.
So where are we going?
We're going from here.
Got it.
So,
okay. If.
Yep. Oh my god, my PC's running low on battery.
Type faster, Richard. Type faster.
Apparently we've got 6 minutes. That's fine. Yep. So the G and K need to be capitals. Yep. K as well. In key. Yeah.
To me. Alright, so.
So we need curly bracket at the end. Yep. And hit enter. Yep. So we're setting the thumb to true.
Right.
Lowercase t. It gets confusing. Especially when you have game object with a lowercase g is different to game object with a capital G. And they're like used all the time. Alright, so now we need to stop movement when you're doing thumbs up. So you're not like sliding around. And that's just this line before movement.
Okay, right before movement.
Yeah, we could actually add curly brackets around.
So this is
consistency.
Outside of curly bracket, is it?
Yes, outside. This is its own if statement.
Okay, got it. So if.
So not anim.get pool. So we're not changing the variable. We're just looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just thumb. Yep, and then just put curly brackets around movement. It formats for you.
So helpful.
It is accidentally helpful sometimes.
Accidentally.
Oh, it doesn't mean it.
That is not in the right place, is it?
No, you can just go to the other side and just hit tab.
Here. Like that.
Yeah, and hit delete a couple times. And yeah, one. The backspace. And it's formatted now.
Okay, got it. Right.
Hit save. Cool.
Okay. So go back over here.
Yep. Back to our animator.
Sweet.
Please stop saving. You're draining my battery.
We got this.
Let me very quickly just glance at these in case we die.
Okay.
Okay, cool. These all
So,
get set pretty straightforward.
Thumbs up. So we're just going to make a transition to the thumb.
And back from all three.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay.
So when transitioning to thumb,
Yep.
All we do is check if it's got thumb. So thumb true. And then remove the has exit time because we want to interrupt whatever animation.
Got it. Okay. So
And then when returning for idle is nothing.
I delete. Just
And no, we want to have exit time for that one.
oh, you do. Okay.
Yes. So we want to go back to idle as soon as the animation's finished, which it'll do automatically if you have has exit time.
Okay. Oh no, I did that the wrong way.
Yes.
So just nothing and then has.
Well, no. So for walk, we want to do the same transition as we did from idle. So we're checking we are moving and not sprinting.
Gotcha.
Yep. And keep the has exit time. And to go from walk to thumbs up is literally just check, are we doing thumbs up? And no exit time.
Easy. Okay. So
You missed the exit time.
I'll get it.
Yep. Yep. And you got to do the transition to sprint. Yep. Which is just I'm sprinting, I'm moving. Yep. And has exit time for that one.
Got it.
So
Okay.
it goes there automatically. My computer just died. That's fine.
Good time.
I have a mouse pad now. Yes, I need to. I don't think I'll need to. I think we're done actually.
I was gonna say, I think
Yeah, just test it.
sweet. All right, let's go back to the scene. We're all good. Some more space here.
Yep.
So what button is the thumbs up?
Space. Hey, we did set that up, didn't we? Yeah.
We did.
Cool.
If I
And
just-
that'll interrupt.
So if I just change it like that, and the
Yeah,
is it
render.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, and that if you keep moving when you press it, yeah, interrupts it. Yeah, perfect.
And then it times out, and then it keeps moving.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
You can, for some animations, you would move the animation event to specific moments.
Yeah.
That's, for example, swinging the sword.
Yeah.
Obviously, every game's going to handle it differently, but like Smash Bros, for example, the hitboxes on attacks happen with very specific timings. So you would have 2 animation events in the swing animation that turn the hitbox on and off.
Yep. Okay.
So that like if someone take Link for example, Link's attacks, he tends to swing back and then forward, but that swing back can't hit someone behind him.
Okay. Yep.
So it won't turn on the hitbox until about here, and then it'll turn it off here, so the follow through that goes behind him doesn't hit someone behind him.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure they don't do like a magic hitbox in front of you. They put it on the sword.
Yeah. I would hope so.
A lot of games don't. But yeah, that's
Not bad.
That's pretty much it. Like, that's most of what setting up an animation controller is. You can get really intricate and start doing really fancy things. Stuff like jump tends to have a transition from movement to a jump up to an airborne to a land back to move. It's typical. It's a whole series of animations.
Okay.
Rather than just a play jump animation, because you don't know how long you're going to be in the air for. You don't know how you're going to land. Like if you, a lot of games will have if you jump and land versus jump from a great height and land, it'll be a different land animation. So you need to handle that. So you can, like how complex our tiny animator is with only 4 things. There's what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 transitions.
Could you imagine Red Dead's animation controller?
Well, remember the animation controller I had for Tile Descent?
No.
No? It was just a maze of everything going everywhere, but certain things can't transition to certain other things, and blah, 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 blah. Like, you don't want the airborne animation to be able to transition directly to idle.
Yeah.
So it's like its own thing that only 2 or 3 things go to it, and it only goes to one thing. Like, it can get very complex.
I mean, it seems like it stacks up on each other.
Yeah.
And it just builds and builds and builds into the game.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions about any of the code or how we set up the controller or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, it's just something you have to put into practice, and that's how I commit it to memory.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Not bad. Okay, yeah.
Alright, I'll get you to... Yeah. I'll have to chuck my laptop on charge so I can get you the feedback form.
You mean the one that's on Discord?
Oh, you've got the Discord, the Discord. You've got the feedback form, so we'll get you to fill that out, and I'll do my observation report is on here that I need to do.
See if I can download it.
Alright, I'm gonna hit stop on that, but yeah, I think that was that's pretty good. Cool.
Easy done. Thank you very much for that.